All right, hopefully this is working. I'm trying something new here, technologically speaking. So, oh, hello, cat. Would you like a treat? There you go. I'm trying something new here, technologically speaking, so I don't know if this is working. I know there's nobody in the room right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to figure out if this is broadcasting, and then, if it is broadcasting, oh, yeah, looks like we're live, so that's good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this broadcast here, and I'm going to market it on my Mr. Reagan channel. So you guys can all see that I'm up and live, and hopefully you'll start watching. So right now I'm just going to speak nonsense for a while. Well, hopefully people jump onto the live stream. Oh, here we go. We made it. Hello, what's up? Hello, Kim. All right, I guess you guys know each other. That's nice. Kimberly Ashcroft and JD Coke and Mark in Alberta. Valeria, I'm in traffic. Valeria's watching the live stream. That's great. We're live with Kitty. That's right. His name is Aston. I named him after the car, Aston Martin, because I don't have the money to buy a real Aston Martin, so I have a cat instead. But he's a very expensive cat. He's called a Bengal. And he's very... because I'm allergic to cats, actually. I had a dream the other night. You guys will find this amusing. I had a dream the other night where I was interviewing Michael Jackson's mother. I don't know if Michael Jackson's mother is alive, but in the dream, I'm interviewing her. But as a kind of a prank or something, I don't know why I did this, but as a kind of a joke, instead of asking her about Michael Jackson songs, I asked her all about Madonna songs, attributing them to Michael Jackson. So I'd say like, so what did you think the first time you heard Papa Don't Preach on the radio? And she just keeps getting more and more angry as I'm like, when Michael wrote the song Like a Virgin, was that a little bit awkward for the family, you know? And she's getting more and more angry. So even in my dreams, I'm hilarious. I just want everybody to know that. High maintenance kitty. He is a high maintenance kitty. All right, so I'm going to start talking about the news now, even though my co-pilot, my co-star, is not here. Valeria is not here because she's coming home from work and she is currently stuck in traffic. So let's have a look at this. I'm glad this is working because I'm trying a new thing out, and whenever you try a new technological thing out, you never know if it's going to work. There's going to be bugs, but you guys seem to think it's working, so we're all good. So the first news we have, let me actually shoot. It's hard to do this by myself. All right. The movie Soul, S-O-U-L, gets criticized for having non-white actors voice black characters. Okay, they're mad about this movie Soul because it's not black enough. Hold on, let me... All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let you guys have a look at this article. Hopefully this... Yeah, I need to fix this. Should have set this up ahead of time. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. There we go. All right, so this is the issue here. There's this movie on Netflix. You guys have probably seen it advertised called Soul, S-O-U-L. And it's pretty much exclusively black characters. And it's a movie about black people. Jamie Foxx stars in it. And so the controversy about this that has arisen is that in countries like Denmark, they've used white actors to dub over these black characters. And they're saying, well, that's just racist. You can't have white actors voicing black characters. But in Denmark, I don't think there's a lot of black actors in Denmark. There might be a few, but I've been to Denmark and I literally saw 0 black people. So I think it would be fairly hard to find a black actor in Denmark who speaks Danish who could dub the movie. But this is, of course, a controversy. Soul struck a chord not just for its beautiful photorealistic animation, nor for its wrangling with abstract concepts of life, purpose, and the beyond, but for its genuine depiction of the black community. Now, I actually wrote something very similar to this premise, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, and I actually published it, and well, I didn't really publish it. I posted it on Amazon Books. But I've posted it in several different places, this story. And this story is bizarrely similar to my premise. I even made a short film that used this premise. Did they steal it from me? I don't know. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I have no way of proving it, but it annoys me whenever I see something that seems to be a ripoff of me. You never know. You never know. You guys probably think I'm crazy, but I've seen a lot of things in Hollywood that I thought were probably ripped off from stuff that I've written. I don't know. Let's see here. Okay. Centered around the lead character Joe, voiced by Jamie Foxx in English, and while a few things can get lost in translation in the film's transition over to European markets, those elements remain crucial to Soul. They mean the elements of the depiction of the black community and that kind of stuff. But one choice by many European markets pertaining to the latter, Joe's black identity, has come under scrutiny. Let me see if let me just check to see if you guys are cool and everything's like. Make sure the audio's okay, right? Everything's cool. John Reed says, "Hello, toxic and masculine. Parlor is working great." Oh, is it? Okay, I'll have to use that. All right, good. Okay, so the audio is working okay. In European language dubs of Soul, the New York Times reports that Joe and other black characters are frequently voiced by white actors, prompting a backlash in several countries like Denmark and Portugal. The controversy first broke out in Denmark when people found that Joe is dubbed by white actor Nicolaj Lycas, leading to an outcry that led Lycras to issue a statement on Facebook defending his casting. "My position with regards to any job is very simple," he wrote. "Let the man or woman who can perform the work in the best possible way, get the job." Oh my God. I love Nicolaj. I'm guessing it's Nikolai, and the J is an I sound. Nikolai Lycas. I don't know. I love that guy. I want to have that guy on the show. I'm going to go to Denmark just to interview that guy because he is so awesome. Yes, let the best guy get the job. Let the best actor get the job. If you're going to bring in a black actor in Denmark who speaks Danish, one, I think it's going to be probably pretty hard to find somebody who's black in Denmark at all. And when you do find them, are they going to be good at acting? Are they going to be good at voiceover work? Maybe, maybe not. But the fact that they should just be hired because they're black is ridiculous, and that's something that obviously we on the right say all the time. One thing that I find particularly sort of like blind to reality about this particular article, and I'll go ahead and put it back to my beautiful face. One thing I find particularly irritating about this is that there are tons of white actors who get voiceovers done of them every single day all over the world who aren't white. Because if you watch a movie with, say, Tom Cruise in China, and it's been dubbed into Chinese, do you think they get a white person who knows Chinese to do the voiceover? No, they get a Chinese guy to do the voiceover. Obviously. If you watch a film, a film with Leonardo DiCaprio in some African country, and they've dubbed it into whatever the African language is, do you think they get a white guy who happens to speak that African language? No, they get a guy who is a native of the country and is decent at acting and can speak the language well. That's how it's done. It's ridiculous to assume that every single country has to find a black actor to voice. To do the dubbing of, in these movies. It's just insane. It's the stupidest. This is the stupidest criticism I've ever heard. And actually, in the same vein, let's go ahead and flip back over here. There's another criticism about a movie a TV show that's on the CW, in which they've had to cast Ma and Pa Kent. Right, it's a Superman show. This is the new Superman. This is the new Lois. I guess I think they were on a show called Smallville. I've seen some, not Smallville. What was the show called? Supergirl. I've seen some stuff with the Supergirl and the Superman guy, and And he looks kind of like Hispanic to me. He doesn't even look white. So he's already like, but maybe he is white. I don't know. I can't tell. He looks a little Spanishy to me. But so they wanted to make Ma and Pa Kent black apparently for this CW show. And finally, because CW is honestly, like, I watch some of these nerd forums. In fact, all the stuff that I'm talking about in this segment, this is all stuff that's been reported by a YouTube channel called Clownfish TV. So if you want to hear more about nerd culture and how SJW they are and stupid, watch Clownfish TV. Those guys are awesome. But anyway, so the CW they've got this show called Batgirl or Batwoman, I think it is. And it was originally with that lesbian actress, the model whose name I can't remember. And the show was terrible, right? It was just an SJW fest. It was awful. And this girl was like, okay, it had terrible ratings, and this girl said, okay, I'm not going to do the show anymore. Somebody in the comment section is probably screaming her name at me right now. But anyway, so she quit the show. There's no Chinese guys voicing in Swahili. I know, it's ridiculous, right? So, you have this girl leaves the show, and then they recast it with a black woman. So it's now Black Batwoman, and I think she's a lesbian in the show or something like that. Anyway, there's all this SJW crap, and the show just keeps tanking in ratings. Doctor Who, same thing. Doctor Who keeps tanking in ratings. Hold on, I'm going to fix this. 1 second. Give myself a little bit more headroom. Max headroom, even. Better than... Hi, I am Plant. Nice to see you here. So anyway, so this Batwoman show is just tanking in ratings. Doctor Who tanking in ratings. That's BBC. That has nothing to do with CW. But the point is that all these SJW shows, it's very obvious that the SJW-ness is bad for business. That these companies are losing revenue because of the SJW agenda of the writers and the directors and that kind of stuff. So they're finally taking a stand against this stuff. So former writer of the CW Superman and Lois, Nadria Tucker, reveals how she pushed for diversity in casting of Ma and Pa Kent. Nadria Tucker, let's go ahead and show you who Nadria Tucker is. Let's see here. Nadria. I don't know who that is, but my guess is that she is a black woman. Yeah. So, okay, so that's Nadria, an SJW Black Lives Matter activist type. I'm glad I'm not accidentally showing you guys pornography, because that happens sometimes when you do searches, which is really frustrating. Let's see here. Nadria Tucker, the writer on Superman and Lois, who was originally let go from the show's writing team and proceeded to vent her frustration toward the production on social media, has revealed... Do you think she's ever going to get hired by anyone else again? I mean, if you're working for a TV show and you go, hey, you guys should make these characters black, and they say no. And you say, but you really should. And they say no. And you keep annoying the hell out of them until you get fired. And then you go on social media and you talk crap about them behind their backs. Well, not even behind their backs, in public, and Do you think any other production's ever going to hire you? Do you think any other production's going to be like, oh, you know what I want? I want to find this woman annoying, fire her, and have her talk crap about us on social media. That's what I want. No one will ever hire you again because you're horrible. You're a horrible person. I didn't even like CW. But they at least know enough to fire your, whatever. They shouldn't have hired you in the first place. You were a disaster, lady. Let's see here. She has revealed that she called for the race swapping, they call it race swapping, of Superman's Earth parents, Jonathan and Martha Kent. It's funny that they call it race swapping if you're turning a white character black, but if you're turning a black character white, it's called whitewashing. Oh, they're whitewashing these anime characters. Oh, they're whitewashing these black people by casting them as white. But if they're casting a white person as a black person, it's race swapping, and it's a good thing. In an interview with blah, 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 blah. Basically, she said that she's in the writer's room and she's like, we need to make these characters black. Oh, there she is. On some personal news, Wednesday I got word that my contract on Superman and Lois won't be extended. My service is no longer needed. My outline and draft subpar. Obviously, I disagree with that last bit, LOL. This after months of flagging hashtag #MeToo jokes in dialogue. Oh, because she was basically, for months, she was flagging jokes that she thought were sexist in the script. Of me defending the Bechdel test. Okay, so she just wanted tons and tons of women on the show. Of me fighting to ensure that only black faces on the screen aren't villains. To ensure the only black faces on the screen aren't villains. The only black faces on the screen aren't villains. Of me pitching stories of female characters that are one in the title series that went ignored. If I sound bitter, it's because blah, 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 blah. Okay, so basically she was crap at her job. Look, this is what happens when you hire people because they're black, because they're these social justice warriors. You're not going to get a good a good employee. You're going to get a crap employee. That's how that works, guys. Stop hiring crap employees because you want to fulfill some kind of SJW BS agenda. Okay, next story. I wish you were here, Valeria. Things would be so much funnier. I have somebody to play off of and make fun of me. Hasbro. Okay, this is another SJW. Oh, man, this is terrible. It's not. This one isn't as bad as you think, though. Hasbro rebranding Mr. Potato Head toy line as gender-neutral Potato Head, but not renaming any individual toys. Okay, so they're not actually calling Mr. Potato Head or Person Potato Head. They're not doing anything like that. So this is still going to be Mr. Potato Head. This is still going to be Mrs. Potato Head. But the whole toy line used to be the Mr. Potato Head toy line, right? Because the original toy was called Mr. Potato Head. And all the toys, the subsequent toys that you could buy from it were all called Mr. Potato Head brand, Mrs. Potato Head, Mr. Potato Head brand, Baby Potato Head, whatever all the rest of them are. And so they're just rebranding the whole line Potato Head, which I actually think kind of makes sense. And I wouldn't have minded, except that they seem to be doing this specifically because of the SJW woke gender BS. Like, you know, let's see here. They wrote, we're renaming the Mr. Potato Head brand to Potato Head to better reflect the full line. The iconic Mrs. Potato Head characters aren't going anywhere and will remain Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, the brand wrote in a statement shared with Fox News. But they also wrote, I never learned to talk right. Okay. This is from Kimberly Boyd, the Senior Vice President of Global Brands and General Manager at Hasbro. And she said that the rebranding reflects a more modern era. Culture has evolved, Boyd told the outlet. Kids want to be able to represent their own experiences. The way the brand currently exists with Mr. and Mrs. is limiting when it comes to both gender identity and family structure. Oh, get the F out, Boyd, you stupid. I do not like this person. Uh-oh. I think the wife is home. There she is. Hello, young lady. Would you like to grab the microphone here? I didn't set it up for you, sorry. Huh? He's being quiet. Until now, yeah, maybe. All right, let's see here. Let's keep reading. Boyd added that Hasbro hopes the rebranding will allow kids to... Do you want to say hi? You got to see her for once. The elusive Valeria has entered her habitat. She slowly grasps for her instrument of employment. What kind of microphone is that? The Shure microphone. We have two separate kinds of microphones. I should probably get two of the same ones, but whatever. It is what it is. All right, can you figure that out? You know, you can twist that little knob and it'll loosen up.
I know.
All right, can you guys hear her? Say something. Say something.
What?
Again?
What do you want me to say?
Okay, good. I can hear you. All right. Let's see here. Boyd added that Hasbro hopes the rebranding will allow kids to make little potato families however they see fit. To that end, the Potato Head toy line is also debuting a new product, the Create Your Potato Head Family, that includes enough potatoes and accessories for kids to create all types of families. I wouldn't be surprised if in the coming years they were like, you know, oh, God, I don't want to say that. That's vulgar. But the point is that they don't seem to care about, you know, they're interested in these progressive values. That's why they're doing it. It's not that it makes more sense logically that it would be called the Potato Head family or something as opposed to the Mr. Potato Head toys. That it doesn't matter if it makes sense. What matters is it's progressive values. Listen, let me tell you something about progressive values. Progressive values are not values. Progressive values are a devolution of values, right? So we've had traditional, conservative, Christian values in Western civilization for hundreds of years, right? A couple thousand years now. Different places have had stronger values than others, and different times have had more values than others, stronger values than others. But for the most part, these are the values that allowed us to develop our modern society. And now people are saying, oh, we don't like, those are bad values. Those ruin people's lives and they're terrible. Really? Because they created Western civilization, and Western civilization seems pretty damn nice to me. All right. Moving on. Do you know what the next story is after the Mr. Potato Head story?
I assuming it's BLM received 90 million donations in 2020.
Let's see. Let's find out.
It
isn't. It's record-breaking Black Lives Matter. Oh, no, it is. Yeah, sorry.
I wonder if they're gonna build at least like one school in a black neighborhood or something like this to improve life of the black people.
No, I think all the money is probably going to go to Black Lives Matter, like organizers. I don't think they're going to use the money for anything good.
And Democratic candidates. They're probably
going to give it all to like Joe Biden.
No one was white this year.
Yeah, it's all white. They're going to give it to white people.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So let me tell you what I hate. The reason I hate this story, right? I'm a plant wrote, when I hear Potato Head, Biden always springs to mind. When they hear the term Potato Head, they think of Joe Biden.
You think of Joe Biden?
No, somebody in the comment section. I shouldn't have said anything. All right, let's see here. All right, record-breaking. Black Lives Matter drew $90 million in donations for 2020. Did I switch to the thing? I'll switch to the thing. Okay, there we go. The National Black Lives Matter Foundation attracted record-breaking $90 million in donations for 2020 with an average contribution of close to $30 per contribution. Wow, that's crazy. That's a lot of contributions. If you donate $30, enough people have donated $30 that they've got $90 million, the organization announced Tuesday in a report. They may be actually undervaluing their donations if they're skimming, if they're like stealing some of the money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's what's happening. This is the woman who's in charge of it all. What is her name? I can't remember. I do know her. I do know her because I did a whole video about her, but I can't remember it right now. It's annoying annoyingness. Sorry, that wasn't even funny. All right. Anyway, so here's what I think about this. This is. I'm actually happy. I'm happy that Black Lives Matter got that much money. You know why? Because now we've done it. We've paid black people their reparations. The reparations that they've been demanding for so long. You guys got it now, guys. Come on. You've got your reparations. $90 million. That's pretty good.
You realize that none of those money goes to black people.
I'm sure the people that work for Black Lives Matter are taking a lot of it.
Of course, but how many?
Well, it's their decision. They're the black organization in America right now. They get to choose what they're doing with their money. We've given it to them. It's now to them. They can divide it up how they will. But so the reason I wanted to talk about this story is really because I've been saying this for a while now. Like, there's this concept that we need to pay reparations to black people in America, but we've paid a lot of money to black people in America. If you take all of the money that's been able to be accumulated by black Americans through affirmative action programs, which I don't think are fair, because I think affirmative action programs are actually racist against white people. But okay, we've done that. That's you can consider that a kind of like type of systemic charity or something like that. If you count all the money that's actually been given to organizations that are specifically dedicated to helping black people in America, and now if you look at all the money that's been dedicated to Black Lives Matter, we've given so many millions of dollars, probably billions, to black organizations. When I was in Oregon, I dated a girl whose parents were kind of rich. They kind of hung out in like wealthy circles with wealthy people. And she took me to a charity event once that was for, I think it was called Thomas Jefferson High School in Portland, which they actually tore down, I think, the statue of Thomas Jefferson at that school because they're like, he was a racist, tore down the statue. But it's basically an all-black school. Pretty much, mostly the kids that go there are black, and or a lot of them anyway. And so we go to this charity event that was specifically organized to help students at the school, and literally every single student there was black. They were like, we need to help out these poor students. We need to give them... this school had the best facilities of any school I've ever been to. They had amazing computers. Everything was like state-of-the-art. Everything was amazing. Their gym was amazing. Everything was way better than any school I ever attended my whole life. I mean, way better. Like 1,000 times better. And they're like, we need to help these poor students out. They're so poor. They're poor. We need money. We need money. And I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking, if this is what's going on in every town all over the country, like, black people got it pretty good. Like, I don't know if this happens everywhere, but at Jefferson High School, you guys are doing pretty well. Like, so that kind of thing has been going on, I think, since like the 80s, maybe even the 70s in some places, where it's like, give tons of money to help black people because black people are underprivileged. They're poor. They
But
had to
at
endure.
least they're improving schools.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. That's good. I don't mind that. I don't like that they're doing it just for black kids. I mean, I think that they should do it for all underprivileged people. You know, white kids, Hispanic kids, Asian kids, whatever. But yeah, fine. You know, improve the schools. That's great. But the point I'm trying to make is that white people have been giving a lot of money over the years to black organizations, black charities, black everything. So the reparations are paid. And if you also include the cost in blood from white men who fought in the Civil War to free the slaves, that was quite a sacrifice as well. A lot of people died in that war. A lot of people lost limbs. A lot of people lost their, became paralyzed. A lot of people lost their ability to have children. So, there was a huge sacrifice within white culture for black people. So if you look at it from a group mentality, which I hate doing, I like looking at people as individuals, a huge price has been paid many times over. So this whole idea that reparations need to be paid or reparations haven't been paid, absolute nonsense. This is another example of that. All right. Hold on. I don't want to move on. I don't want to move on. I want to keep reading.
You look so good on camera.
Huh?
You look so good on camera.
I look good on camera. Don't say that. Say you look terrible on camera. You look much better in real life. Come on.
You look terrible on camera. You look much better in real life.
Thank you, darling. All right. So now, what do we got here? Okay. So now here's the second thing about this story that's crazy. So this woman, God, why can't I remember her name? I can think of it, but it'll take me a second. All right. So anyway, Black Lives Matter is now demanding payback for its support of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in the 2020 presidential election, stating that getting Trump out of office was not the end-all, be-all. We want something for our vote. This is a story that I've reported before on Mr. Reagan. This to me is incredibly audacious. It's these Black Lives Matter people. They're just too stupid to understand how the Democrat system works. Normally, what happens is that a special interest group organizes all their votes together to vote for the Democrats so that the Democrats will do things for them, but they don't state it out loud. It's a sort of unspoken devil's bargain, right? So you're like, okay, I'm going to vote for this person, and this person is going to make sure that I get money for my organization or whatever it is that I care about. That's why I'm getting them elected. But you don't say that publicly. You make sure that there's a sort of understanding between you. You don't go out to the newspapers or to Twitter or whatever and go, where's my stuff now that I've got you in office? Because that's like a quid pro quo, right? That's exactly the kind of thing that we're trying to avoid happening in America. And these idiots are going right out and saying it because they don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know how the whole con works on the left. Anyway, I'm done with that story. My cat's jumping up on the couch to be with Valeria. Aston loves Valeria, and he does not like me so much. He allows me to pet him occasionally, but for the most part, he's...
I knew you
if it's me and her, he just goes straight over to her. So loud. All right, that's the end of the Black Lives Matter stuff. Can we move on to the next story, darling?
Yep. Among America's generations Z, 1 in 6 identify as LGBT plus Q and AL through Z W X Y Z.
That's right. Let's see here. This is in the New York. No, not in the New York Post. This is Blaze. This is on the Blaze. I love the Blaze. I got good friends on the Blaze. But let's switch over to this story. Okay, so 1 in 6 of America's youngest adult generation identify as LGBT. Valeria, you're in Generation Z. Do you identify as LGBT?
No.
No, you don't. All right, well, let's read a little bit of this article, and then we can talk about it. Approximately 1 in 6 from America's youngest adult generation now identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender. Most of them are bisexual, apparently. A trend of increasing LGBT identification in the country, according to a new Gallup survey. Now, I think that this is horse manure, as they say. And I'm going to explain why in a moment. So, the survey conducted through the last year found that 16% of adults from the Generation Z identify as something other than heterosexual. Those surveys were born between 1997 and 2002, roughly. Valeria, you're 1996, right?
Yes, I am.
But I still think you're Gen Z. Because she's got the mind of a child. It's not true.
Sure.
All right. Gen Z is defined by those. Okay, yeah. They did not include those who've not yet reached the age of 18. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Let's see here. Of those 18 to 23-year-olds who identify as LGBT, 72% of them classify themselves as bisexual. Now, this is why I think it's baloney. Because my guess, and they don't talk about that here, they don't say if it's men or women that are identifying as bisexual, but my guess is that a huge percentage of that 72% that classify themselves as bisexual are women. And the reason hey buddy, you want up? Come on. You want to say hi to the people?
Yes.
It says hi. Now, in my experience, when I was going to school, it was not necessarily cool to be gay, right? But there was a growing popularity within a certain subculture, even when I was at school, right? This is like the 1990s, the late 90s. There was a certain subculture of people who did think it was cool to be a lesbian. This is like a popular trend. And I think that this trend grew significantly because even if you're not attracted to women, even if you're not attracted to women as a woman, I think women are still objectively beautiful. You know, like beautiful women are still beautiful even to a woman. A handsome man
That's true. As a woman.
Yeah, you can
That's
see.
true, yeah.
Now I can tell if a man's handsome or ugly.
I will even say that woman pays more attention to the woman than
Sure,
they pays
because
on
you're
men.
talking
Yeah.
about like how you want to dress and you care about the aesthetics and all that. Now, a man can tell if another man's handsome or ugly. Obviously, the same way I can tell that if a horse is a healthy-looking horse or an old nag. Hey, Aston. See this? Aston. Stupid cat. I'll throw him off the balcony. No, I won't really. She's looking at me scared. Don't look at me like that. I'm not going to really do that. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that a girl can say, "Oh, this woman's beautiful." I think that she would even not mind being a little bit more physical with a girl than a guy would. Guys tend to find other guys a bit gross. I think guys tend to find other guys like I don't want to touch another guy really, you know. But girls don't mind touching other girls. They'll hold hands, stuff like that. They'll cuddle together, stuff like that. They don't mind. Oh my God, can you just murder him? Just kill him. Oh, there he goes running. There, throw that. But here's the second reason why I think a lot of women don't mind being quote unquote bisexual is because a lot of guys find that a little bit sexy, right? There's just throw him in the in the bathroom. Some guys think that watching girls make out or that kind of stuff, like, you know, it's a little bit sexy. So girls cop on to this. And they're like, oh, that's sexy. Guys like that. Okay, I'll call myself bisexual. So a huge percentage of these people might not be, you know, might just totally be heterosexual and just might be faking it for the attention. In fact, I think that's probably quite a lot of them, even the trans people. I knew a guy in college who was very flamboyantly gay. And this guy was he desperately wanted attention all the time. Like, if we weren't paying attention to him, he would start dancing in like this kind of like wild, crazy way just so people would look at him. I mean, the guy was nuts. And I realized I'm not sure if that guy's like born attracted to men or if he's born attracted to attention, and he realizes that being gay is something that gets him more attention, right? So I think that he kind of fit into that kind of, I don't know. I was trying to psychoanalyze the guy because he was clearly a crazy guy. So I think a lot of people who identify as gay, trans, whatever, at least some of them want attention. And actually, I asked the guy. I said, how many gay men do you think are actually gay and born that way? And how many gay men do you think are just doing it for attention or to be different or something like that? And he goes, all of them.
Really?
Yeah. And I went, what do you mean all of them? He goes, I'm the only gay man that I've ever met that I think was actually born gay. And I'm like, I don't think you were born gay. I was like, I think you were born, needing attention a lot. But I didn't say that to him. But anyway. So I don't know. Look, I don't know. Maybe this is real. Maybe it's not. I'm skeptical. I don't think self-reported stuff is usually that accurate. Maybe it is accurate. I'm not convinced. I think it's probably more likely that a lot of these kids just think it's cool to say that they're gay or that they're trans or that they're bisexual. And so that's what they're doing. Darling, we're wrapping up.
We?
Yeah, we're wrapping up that section.
Okay, awesome.
What are you doing?
Sorry, my mom wrote me.
Your mom.
I couldn't not respond because my mom writing me every day, but we have different timings, so I have to respond. I'm fine, I'm good, I'm alive, I'm home. It's important.
Can you do something for me real quick?
Yes.
Just there you go.
I have to read the comments.
No, you don't.
I do.
We do that at the end of the show. Let's just do that in the show.
Oh.
Next story.
COVID arrived on the scene and the flu disappeared.
The flu. Yes. So this is a story that's a little bit old. It's actually not.
Of course, flu disappeared. Everybody wears mask.
That I don't think that's why. I don't think that's what they're saying. The reason is. But I don't think that's why. So this is kind of an old story, right? Amid COVID pandemic, flu has disappeared in the U.S. So I'll just read some of this because it's a pretty short story. This is from the New York Post. February is usually the peak of flu season, with doctors' offices and hospitals packed with suffering patients, but not this year. Flu has virtually disappeared from the U.S., with reports coming in at far lower levels than anything seen in decades. Experts say that measures put in place to fend off the coronavirus, wearing masks, social distancing, and virtue signaling, virtual schooling, were big factors in preventing the twindemic of flu and COVID-19. A push to get more people vaccinated against flu probably helped too, as did fewer people traveling, they say. Another possible explanation, the coronavirus has essentially muscled aside flu and other bugs that are more common in the winter and in the fall and winter. Scientists don't fully understand the mechanism behind that, but it would be consistent with patterns seen when flu strains predominate over others, said Dr. Arnold Monto, a flu expert at the University of Michigan. Nationally, this is the lowest flu season we've had on record, according to a surveillance program that's about 25 years old, said Lynette Brommer of the U.S. Center for Disease and Prevention. Okay, so this is what I think about this. Now, all the things that they said were causing this flu season to be low are probably contributing to some degree. But a lot of people suspect that a lot of cases of flu are actually being reported as COVID, like misreported.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is. I don't know how pervasive that is,
sure it's true.
but that's something that a lot of people believe.
Every disease now is flu, like.
Yeah. It seems like every respiratory
not the flu,
disease.
sorry, COVID.
Yeah. Every respiratory disease seems to be reported as COVID. Look.
I think even flu reported as COVID, because some tests positive because you have flu, not
well,
COVID.
This is what we're trying to say here. So I don't want to believe that there's some kind of sinister stuff going on to try to increase the number of COVID, reports and stuff like that. I don't want to report that. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to say that. And I don't have any proof that that's true. We have We have rumors that that's true. We have doctors who have said some stuff similar to that, but mostly about the COVID deaths, not about reporting the actual, people who have been infected. But it does seem weird that we suddenly have no flu in America at all, and there's still all this COVID being reported all over the
I told
place.
you it's masks.
It's masks are stopping people getting flu, but they're not stopping them getting COVID. Because of magic? I don't know. It seems like it's possible that flus are maybe being reported as COVID some of the time. Now, one thing that you should know is if you're sneezing or if you're congested in your nose, that's actually not a sign of COVID. That would be a sign of the flu or a cold, or allergies. But it's not a sign of COVID. I think people suspect that sneezing and nasally stuff, that is potentially a sign of COVID. What?
Jeff writing, I don't ever want a cat.
Oh, God. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Valeria.
I'm reading comments.
No.
There is a
I will beat you
girl,
later.
and she wrote, "We need Valeria in the comment section."
Well, we need Valeria to talk more, and you're doing that like less when you read the. God, we're gonna have this fight right in front of you guys. I don't even care. We'll fight about it after the show. Anyway, look, I don't know. Maybe that the flu instances of flu are being reported as COVID. Maybe they're not. Maybe what they're saying is all correct. I don't know. It does seem weird to me. It does seem a little bit suspicious. I'm not convinced that they're right. I think it's possible that some of this stuff is being reported incorrectly. All right, shall we move on to the next story?
Do we have the next story?
Oh, are we done?
We are done.
Hey, that actually felt pretty quick. I recorded a really long video today. It was like 4 hours I was recording about Twitter and about how social media is ruining our ability to communicate and stuff like that. And so I'm exhausted. So I'm glad it's over with. Now we can take questions and comments. So go ahead and flip the phone over that you never flipped over. And
I just said the Jeff Beal wrote, I don't ever want a cat. Another Jeff Naughty wrote, I have 4 cats. There is a fight between 2 Jeffs.
Well, I'll tell you what, it wouldn't be so bad if we had a bigger place. So get on Patreon, give us all your money so we can afford to buy a house. Because this apartment is just too small to have a cat, I think. But, I mean, it's not too small to have a cat if you don't have a podcast. But having a podcast and having a Bengal in a small apartment, it's
not small. It's
not a small apartment. It's a big apartment.
There is no separate rooms. It's
It's a big,
huge,
massive room. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there is sort of a separate room, but there's no
Huge.
door.
Like
she
Trump
has her
would
own
say.
little.
Chris. Huge.
No, huge without the
Huge.
H. We should just do a whole show called Valeria Does Impressions of Donald Trump.
I love this comment. Zombie Teddy, that felt quick. Is that what she said?
Valeria
said-
loves the joke. That's what she said. So I taught her what this joke was a while ago, and she didn't quite understand it. So she started saying that's what she said about things that made no sense at all. I mean, I feel like, hey, I'm kind of hungry. Want to go to the store and get some food? And she'd go, "That's what she said."
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No.
You would say it about things that didn't make sense.
Else. Not that simple.
I don't know. I think we forgot to turn off the stove. That's what she said. She would say it for things that didn't make any sense. You get it now, though. You understand it now, though.
Yeah.
Okay, she understands it now. I had to explain it to her. She kept using it wrong. I think she was doing it on purpose, actually.
Yes, because your reaction was hilarious.
I feel like, no, that's not. Anyway, next comment, next question. Nothing about cats, please.
Everything about just the cat.
Everything's about the cat.
Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. Toxic masculinity or should Biden start identifying as a female immediately to extend his life expectancy?
I think scientifically that would work, right? If you were to identify as a female because you feel like a woman inside, then you should live longer because on average women live longer than men. You can't get colon cancer. What is it?
Maybe
What's the cancer only prostate? everybody can get colon cancer, I guess. But, you can't get prostate cancer if you identify as a woman. That's science. Okay. Because how can you have a prostate if you identify as a woman? But you can't get breast cancer and ovarian cancer, which is a shame.
Well, you might live longer if you're a woman.
No, I know. The joke is that...
My joke is...
Oh, we got a joke from Valeria.
Stupid people live less. How crazy. Or,
live shorter lives. If you're stupid, you live shorter lives.
I mean...
Yeah, you don't, well, I don't know. Do you see a lot of, like, super old people who are really dumb? The problem is it's hard to tell, because once you're that old, it's like... I think it's hard to function. Mm-hmm. It's hard to tell how stupid or smart that they were in their... when they were younger. Anything else?
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Let's see here. This guy's written, my cat died after 13 years. I like hearing yours. It reminds me of my cat.
Yeah, just reading the same
Well, let me tell you this. I had a cat that lived for 13
don't
years.
read anything about cat.
Well, you weren't reading anything, so I just read the next thing.
Okay.
Chris, you should get a wolf. Take care of that cat problem.
Oh, I can answer this question from Carrie. What are your and Chris' zodiac signs? Well, I'm Cancer and Chris is Scorpio.
Scorpio, yeah. The only other woman that I
Can we not talk about your exes for at least one live stream? No. Please.
There was another girl that I was with. This is a long time. This is many, many years ago. And it was the only other girl that I was ever in love with other than Valeria. And we were going to get married. Like, it didn't end up working out. But, yeah, I was crazy about her. She was also a Scorpio. And I don't think that these zodiac signs mean anything at all, personally. But we were both very sort of like aggressive, intense people.
Okay, if zodiac signs doesn't like...
Well,
why didn't you guys work out? Two Scorpios.
I don't know if Scorpios are supposed to work out or not.
Me too, actually.
But Scorpios are supposed to be intense. Like they're supposed to be like kind of intense people, and we were both very intense people. So that was actually a true thing about us. And but we worked out very well. Actually, the two of us were very good together. But I made the decision not to be with her, which was probably a terrible mistake since I ended up with this. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It worked out for the best. Everything worked out for the best.
Okay, Mark says, don't circle back to your exes.
What's that?
Don't circle back to your exes.
Don't circle back. Yeah, don't circle back, Saki.
How long, Carrie, have you guys been together?
Over 2 years. Something over 2 years.
Over 2 years for sure, because we were married.
But not quite 3 years. How long?
Like a 3.5.
Is it 3.5 years, really?
Well, we met in 2017.
Well, it feels like no time at all, darling. It feels like I've only known you for a week.
3.5, yeah.
Because you never share. That's why. Let's see.
How many kids will you have? Well, we already have one. It's that loud one.
N7 writes, got here really late. Did you all talk about Biden saying the N-word last week? Crowder had it on his show on YouTube. Even typed it out on the closed caption of it. That's hilarious. No, we didn't talk about Biden saying the N-word, although we've had a good laugh about it.
Did you find out what he was actually saying?
I think he was repeating what he had said before, but he said, and then I think he said either. So it was like neither, but
yeah,
he kind of fumbled his words.
Surprising.
I actually tweeted about this, and I thought it was quite a clever treat. I wrote, I posted the video obviously, and I put N, and then the little star symbol many times, and then I wrote what ? N what? You know what I mean. Anyway, I thought it was quite funny. It didn't get very many likes. I'm not very popular on Twitter, which I don't understand. I'm funny. Dang it.
Okay. Thomas Jefferson, I truly miss your I Love the View. Can we expect one soon?
For you, Mr. Jefferson, anything. I'll try. Look, I mean, I got so many. I'm so overwhelmed with work right now, and those view videos they take so long to make. But people do keep asking me for them, so
Yeah.
I'll try to.
I think you need to bring this.
Fine, I'll do one. Give me a few
One?
days because I got a bunch of other stuff I got to do. But yeah, I'll do one. I'll do one.
Yeah, you'll circle back on this one. Okay.
I'll circle back Pisaki. Let's see. This guy writes, "My neighbor has a cat that's 23 years old, so strap in." I have a mother that I can give that cat to if I need to. She has a lovely place. Let's see here. It was neither or and eager, I think, says N7 Heaven. In seventh heaven. Okay, I get it now. It was neither eager. It was neither and eager put together.
Okay.
That makes sense. I wonder what would happen if he combined eager and beaver. Eager beaver. I don't know why. That's not really funny. Eager beaver is an old saying in America.
Okay, Steve
Which could
C.
be like a very promiscuous woman.
Steve
Eager
C.
beaver.
They are letting Biden show some sleep ups. How much longer do you think they let him be president before putting Kamala in his place? Well, I just said before, I think in 2021, are we in 2021 already? Okay, in 2022, I think there's going to be Kamala Harris.
I can't hear anything you're saying. You're too quiet.
Really?
Yeah.
Am I?
Well, not
Did
anymore.
you hear the question?
I didn't hear the
You
question.
didn't hear the okay.
Yeah.
They're letting Biden show
Yeah.
some sleep ups. How much longer do you think
Slip-ups.
they let him be president before putting Kamala in his place?
Hey, it's a good question. I think that actually Biden is far better for those who control him than Kamala would be. Because Kamala has some sense of autonomy, right? I
Because
think
she's a
Kamala,
strong black woman
she's a strong Indian woman pretending to be black.
and Asian.
But, huh?
And Asian.
Asian being Indian. She's Indian, from India.
Okay.
That's in Asia.
Okay.
Yes. Not American Indian.
Mm-hmm. So complicated.
Not really. Anyway, yeah, she's got she could make decisions. She's dangerous because she could actually make decisions on her own. Biden definitely cannot. One, he's too compromised, right? I mean, definitely like everybody's probably got dirt on Biden. They could destroy him at any moment, so he has to basically do what everybody says. And secondly, I don't even think he can function. I think even if they didn't have dirt on him, they would be able to control him easily. Biden is the perfect Democrat candidate because every other Democrat who wants power can manipulate and control him. I'm actually doing a video on this, who controls Joe Biden, doing a lot of research into it. Again, no solid conclusions yet. I don't have a concrete answer yet, but I will by the time I'm done with my research. I'll have that coming to you in a couple of weeks. It's going to be a great video. I've got a bunch of great videos coming out. One, I think, hopefully, if I can get the editing done tonight, tomorrow morning.
Okay, awesome. True Helper, Mr. Reagan, and Valeria. What is your favorite vacation getaway?
I think so far Hawaii.
Yeah, I agree with
Which
you.
I wouldn't have ever said before because I'd never been to Hawaii, and I didn't think Hawaii was very nice because I was used to the sort of aloha luau culture, that's the super tacky version of Hawaiian culture that they're always like pushing. Basically since like the 50s, you've always seen this sort of like, really annoying grass skirt Polynesian kind of thing. That it's just so tacky. I mean, I suppose I've never been to like a real luau or anything like that, so I suppose it'd be very nice, but the sort of like version that you get, the sort of cartoon version that you get of it's very tacky. So I always thought Hawaii would be lame. But one of my best friends lives there, Kurt. I'm sure you guys heard me talk about Kurt. Kurt had said, many times, you guys got to come visit. You guys got to come visit. He doesn't even like Hawaii. But we go there. I'm just like, holy crap, this place is amazing. I mean, if you're so Hawaii is kind of weird because different sides of the islands have different climates. So some sides of the islands are like very barren and desert and ugly and horrible. But then the green sides of the island are amazingly lush. I mean, it's basically like what you would imagine a jungle being, like they filmed Jurassic Park there. So if you want to know what Hawaii's like, just watch Jurassic Park. That's the foliage, that kind of stuff. And it really is like a paradise. I mean, it's amazing. Like just swimming in the water was one of the best experiences of my life.
Yeah.
We've gone snorkeling, and we've seen all kinds of cool. We were able to experience the massive sea turtles, which is, I mean, those things are like dinosaurs. I mean, those things are huge. I'm sure you guys have all been to Hawaii, or at least many of you have. Yeah, I didn't think I would like Hawaii, but I absolutely loved it. Another weird thing, I never thought that I would like Vegas, but I really like Vegas. Vegas is a pretty cool place. But we also like Chicago, actually. Weirdly, we really like Chicago.
Yeah,
We've been to Chicago a couple times, and we like the Trump Tower in Chicago. If you're ever staying in Chicago, stay in Trump Tower. It is fantastic. We like Washington, D.C. We've been to D.C. a couple of times. We really like it. We like New York City. Boston was okay. There's some things that are good about Boston. I didn't like it as much. But we were there during COVID, so there was like nobody there. I would really like... My favorite place probably in the world is probably London. I lived there for a year when I was younger. And then I really love Copenhagen, pretty much anywhere in Europe. We're probably going to go... If she doesn't go with me, I'm probably going to go at some point this year through Europe. But I think you'll probably be able to travel soon, right? Abroad. If she can travel abroad soon, we're going to both go to Europe and do a little trip there. So anybody I know in Europe, we're going to probably go have coffee. All right, next question.
Okay, Kimberly asking, do you remember the interview of Obama where he spoke about having a third term as a shadow president? He said he would control everything from the basement wearing sweats. I think we are there.
No, we're not. No. That was always misinterpreted by conservatives, what he was saying. He was trying. That was his attempt at humility. Sorry. That was his attempt at humility. Obama is a guy that likes the spotlight, right? Obama likes to be the center of attention. He likes attention. He likes the respect and adoration of people. He's not a good president. He didn't really do anything positive for the country, but he wants the appearance of being a good president. So this idea that he would do all the work behind the scenes, but he wouldn't get any of the credit or the attention for it, come on, that's nonsense. The reason he was saying that was to deflect this idea that he was somebody who seeks attention. He's like, well, if I had to do all the work, but I didn't have to actually get any of the credit, yeah, I'd do. No, you freaking wouldn't. You would want all the attention. You would want all the credit. That was just a lie gone wrong that everybody interpreted as, oh, he wants to control things from behind the scenes. That wasn't what he was trying to say, and that certainly wasn't what he was saying. And I don't think that he's controlling anything. I think that he's in Hawaii letting Big Mike paddle him around on his canoe.
Big Mike.
I don't know if you guys seen those pictures. That's a pretty brutal thing. I shouldn't actually say that. I feel bad. But Michelle Obama doesn't, well, I don't really love Michelle Obama either. But no, those guys are off enjoying their retirement, being beloved by leftists everywhere. I don't think they have any interest in controlling the country or anything like that. I think other people do that. And I'll produce a video shortly that talks about that. Anyway.
Chris, comment on Chicago. Annan says, I hate Chicago. My ex-wife cheated on me there. Oops.
Well, when I stole Valeria from her ex, he moved there. So we've all got romantic stories that stuff like. Next story. She's dying over here. I don't know why. That wasn't that funny. What are you talking about?
I didn't expect you to say that.
Yeah.
You stole me from my ex.
True, though.
Okay, there's some personal stuff going on.
Oh, a lot of personal questions, huh? Mark in Alberta writes, how long until Obama comes out of the closet? I don't think Obama is gay. I think that's a little bit silly. Let's see here. Chris, do you watch Razor Fist channel? I do not. I don't know what that is, actually.
Yeah, me too. Or me neither.
Let's see here. That's good news. Obama was the worst, says Kimberly Ashcroft. Yeah, I wouldn't want him trying to run a country.
This guy, Anna. My ex slept with Valeria's ex? Question mark.
You never know.
No, I don't think so.
He was actually a pretty good guy. I feel bad for stealing Valeria from him, but
if you're a pretty good guy, it's been like almost 4 years and you're still not married, no girlfriend, give me a break.
Valeria believes that I saved her from a terrible situation, which I actually take a great deal of comfort in because I always do feel a little bit guilty about the whole situation. Am I wrong?
No.
Okay.
You're always right, darling. You're absolutely right. Always right.
I don't know what this is, but I'm going to throw it at you. You say that. I didn't make that up.
No, that's true. I did.
Okay, thank
That's what I said.
See,
That's what
thank-
she said.
That's what she said. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's a fantastic laugh. Well, somebody likes your laugh. Somebody says hi, Aston. All right. Well, we better let Aston out
Yeah,
of the.
I'm gonna let
out
him
of the
close
thing.
the show.
Say goodnight to everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. And thank you for watching once again. And we will